What's up, guys? I'm Daemonxel, and in a game of resource management, what happens when you are fully stocked up on items such as this? How many of you have gotten this message before? Yes, the glyph cap has been reached. So, how do you determine which glyphs to sell off, which glyphs to keep? Let's talk about it. Alright, so we're going to talk about glyph management. What glyphs should you keep moving forward, and which glyphs should you go ahead and sell right off? And yes, I know I'm sporting a fresh new look for 2024, and still awaiting news from CG about what's going on moving forward. We haven't heard anything in 4 weeks. Hopefully we'll hear something soon, but let's get to the topic at hand, which is pick anyone at random and go on in and see what we're talking about here. Okay, so as you can see right now, I'm 615 out of 890, and yes, this does include all the equipped glyphs on characters. So how do you know which glyphs you should part with, which glyphs you should hold on to, especially since a lot of people are now glyph swapping between chapters? Well, it's a little bit easy and a little bit hard depending on how you look at it. I like to hoard things, so yes, it is especially hard for me getting rid of things. But let's look at each glyph set individually. All right, so Armor Piercer, right? So Armor Piercer, you're naturally going to majorly put this on damage-dealing members. So glyphs like, let's pick one at random here. Well, obviously damage. Let's go with ones that aren't damage. Let's unselect here. All right, so right here, res, right? You're not typically going to use res on your damage dealers. You want to have basically damage in these 4, 5, and 6 slots. You want to have sometimes focus, maybe sometimes health, but primarily you're always going to want damage here, because when you elevate these glyphs, right? When you bring them up, let's just pick one at random. Let's see, we got this one right here. The main stat is what we're really looking for, right? This stat right here that raises as you level these up overshadows anything you're going to get in the secondaries. That's going to be the biggest boost to your character moving forward. So yes, we're looking at the primary. So yes, damage on Armor Piercer is basically what we want. Yes, there are damage dealers that need focus, right? Let's look at Ajak, right? Huge damage dealer for Isengard, but he tends to add a lot of banes, right? He's got the exposed, he's got the bleeds. So yes, maybe we want to keep a focus set for higher difficulty on chapters 2 for the troll. Obviously, we're not going to put it on chapter 4 because bleeds don't apply to the Balrog. Thank you, CG. But damage is basically where we want to go. And so we can go ahead and eliminate a lot of these. Now, until we get a mass sell-off, you're going to have to do this individually per glyph. Yes, I know it sucks. We all hate it. And there, look, I just got the bug again. Hopefully CG will fix this. Just have to back out and come back into it again. All right. So you can eliminate slots 4, 5, and 6 easily that way, right? So let's look at this. Let's look at this focus one here. Let's upgrade. Now, a good rule of thumb is you want each of these bars, these initial reveal stats, to be above, 50%. All right. So even on my damage dealers, Ajak, whatever, let's see. Health is a good one. Damage is a good one. Block chance, arm. Yeah, they're all good stats, but primarily because we're looking at damage, we want crit chance, we want crit damage, we want damage, right? And maybe if you have one with res on it as well, that would be a good one too, because a little bit of res will help you in chapters 3 and 4. But primarily, that's what we're looking for. So ones that don't have your primary damage dealing secondaries, and definitely doesn't have your damage dealing primary, we can just go ahead and sell that off and get back the gold. So that's going to allow you to alleviate some of these glyphs down the way. Now, basically, it's on Bloodlust, it's almost the same thing, right? 406, but we know the trick with chapter 3, where Bloodlust is king. where that's going to get you to go faster. You're going to kill more guys, get more points, and score faster. And yes, there is something to be said at higher levels, getting, just putting Last Stand and Bloodlust on your characters. So yes, this one would be a little bit trickier. So yes, we would want to keep some focus on there. Maybe a health depending on who you're putting on, but a res primary is probably not going to help us out that much. So I'm not even going to waste the gold on this. I'm just going to go and sell it off. And that's how we can get rid of the Bloodlust ones, like this one right here. As you can see, they're not very good here. I got less than 50% on focus, damage, block, this one's not good. So we're just going to sell this one off too, right? And we're just going to go through our library the same way. Same thing with Last Stand, right? Last Stand is going to work the same way. You're going to go through them. Obviously, we don't want res, so what we want on Last Stand is definitely, because we use Last Stand a lot, you look at your characters that are using them. So we have like Sam, right? So we have damage. We like damage. We love using damage. Damage works really well. On your tanks for Last Stand, you might want armor. So armor would be good. So you would have to actually go in there and look at them individually to see if they're good or not. Obviously, this one completely sucks, right? I know I have it equipped on Sam. That was just so I can do the video. I don't use my Hobbits at all really right now until I level them. But as I'm leveling them, I'll get better glyphs along the way. And another rule of thumb is when you are... Okay, this is equipped. I have to get it off him. We'll take care of that one later. But as you are leveling these glyphs, right, guys? A good rule of thumb is when you have your 25 characters for your raids, right? You have all your raid teams fleshed out. You know what you want. And yes, you may hear a little static in the background. It is pouring outside. And I do not have this area completely soundproofed. So I am sorry if it does sound like static coming through. It's the rain hitting the roof here. But getting back on topic here, once you have them, your 25 characters, and you know what glyphs you want on those characters, bring those glyphs up to 7, bring them up to 8 when you get the mats, and you can just basically don't raise them past 8 if they're not super good. Now, obviously, if they're trash secondaries, you do not want to level this, right? I mean, obviously, look for the best ones that you have. Right now, we are getting, depending on where you are in the raids, we're pretty much getting a good amount of scrolls each week to level these glyphs, especially if they're really good, because you're not going to level, the same one more and more and more. Well, you know what I mean? In other words, like I have these ones on more. I'm not going to, hey, I got this one at 7. Let me go search around for another one. I'm going to wait till I get these up to 8s, and then I'm going to see if I can find something in the same primary, in the same set, but with better secondaries. And that's how you want to move forward. Lembas set, same way. Basically, you're going to move forward on each of these sets the same way. Now, Raider is going to be a damage dealing rune. I don't have a lot of Raiders. I'm the one that kind of subscribes to, I think Armor Piercer is better than Raider, because Armor Piercer, you're getting overall the entire fight. Whereas, yes, Raider, you can deal 2% more flat damage to enemies over 50%. I have to do the math. I have to see the breakdown. I do see some people in difficulty 5 using some Raider sets. So don't throw them all away. Keep ones that have godlike secondaries. But obviously, like res, we're not going to use res. We're probably not going to use focus. We're going to use these on just damage. So if you don't have ones that are just damage on these, don't bother with them. Get rid of them. So if you're going to do a Raider set, maybe get one for a slot. 4, 5, and 6, one Raider set there, and maybe use the true damage one up here in slot 2. But basically just focus on the damage dealing for Raiders to move forward. Withering right now is in a really odd place because of the bug. And yes, I have a lot of Withering because I was stocking up on these. I was using these, guys. And also, remember, when you're buying them from the shop, you're getting them at a level 5 anyway. So when you sell them, you're gonna make more money back. Let's go to the market right now. Let's go to the supply shop. All right, so as you can see right here, Vitality, right? Let's just buy this one level 5 Vitality, 2300. We're going to buy it. Let's take a look at it real quick. It's a res. It's garbage. We're not using it. We're not keeping this. So let's get rid of this right away. Let's go back in. All right, what was it? That was Vitality, right? And that was a res. That was a bottom one. No, right there. Where was it? Res. There it is. There's the one we picked out, right? So we paid that much for it. Now, when we sell it off, we're not losing that much gold, guys. It's a no-brainer, especially when you get them at level 5 because you're not putting money into it already. You're really not losing much money just purchasing this and selling it off. Because you never know. You could get a really good one. But like there, Vitality Arm, I'm not using any of these, so I'm going to just get rid of these to help me cycle on. Now, when we were talking about Withering, the Withering bug is still in effect. And if you don't know what the Withering bug is, it is when you are using the Withering set, sometimes you will take the damage. So if you have a Haradrim with Withering on there, you may notice that in Chapter 2, when he does the Unbreakable, right? All of a sudden, you'll get a ton of damage done to you because you are getting that 50% true damage applied to yourself. It has also been confirmed to happen every time Bekalu uses her special too. That second hit damages herself. So until they have that fixed and fleshed out, don't even bother using Withering right now. Move over to a Last Stand for those characters. That would actually do you a lot better right now than Withering. But yeah, that's how you're going to stay on top of everything, guys. Shield Wall, right? I don't see a lot of instances where we're going to be using Shield Wall on tanks. Now, yes, I'm going to contradict what I said. I'm going to say there's not really a lot of chances where you're using damage on Shield Wall, but yes, there actually is. You would want to use a damage Shield Wall if you're using Shield Wall for Wabute, right? Right now I'm using a Limbus set and Shield Wall for Wabute. And the primaries I'm using for 4, 5, and 6 is 2 damage and a health. So yes, obviously a damage in that instance will be more beneficial. Where's that button? There it is. Ah, crap. I just wasted the scroll. So yes, also be mindful of your button because I just upgraded a useless one here. Because look at this. Speed, HP, arm res, this is garbage. Especially on Shield Wall, because I'm not using this for anybody else. With a Focus Shield Wall, I might use this on Wabute, right? For Chapters 2, just so I can get that slow off a little bit easier. But other than that, the secondaries are garbage. I don't want these secondaries. For Wabute, I want crit chance, crit damage, health, and block chance. Maybe if he's not up to par, if he's not fully fleshed out, right? Maybe I want a secondary as focus to give me a little bit extra so I can land my slow. Other than that, that's not the primaries. It's not the secondaries I'm looking for it. So yes, this is how we're going to go through our list of glyphs and get rid of them. Glyphs that you are never using. Go through that list first. Mire them down. Obviously, I got a ton of Lifestealer. I'm hardly using them. So I'm going to go through those, and I'm going to scale down. I'm just going to go through each of them, and I'm going to see, well, ones that I don't even have leveled up, well, I'm one of those guys that I need to see what the stats are. So, as you can see, I just wasted gold. The stats are not good. We're going to sell it off. I'm going to make back a little, like, maybe 40% of what I paid for on that. But I'm getting back, when I buy it through the supply shop, I'm getting back 90%. But yeah, so I got to go through these Lifestealers, and I'm not using, this is just way too much garbage stuff. So the glyphs that you find that you are not using a ton of, start with those piles first and go through. You know, with Raider and Armor, you're looking for basically damage. So if you have res, just get rid of those right off the bat. So yeah. So that's what we're looking for. That's how I recommend you guys going through your list and selling them off to scale back some of them, make back some of that gold that you may need. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope my incessant rambling did not drive you away from the channel. I will be more laser focused in 2024, trying to be. And until I talk to you guys again, have a great week, have a great weekend, adventure safe, and good luck to you and your fellowship.